guys? Welcome to another show of the Coach's Corner. We're here at the Tivoli Tap House where we are every Monday at 5:30 for the Coach's Corner show. I'm your host, Celeste Zubia, and as always is Juan Arellano on this cold, chilly Monday. That's why we're rocking our beanies. Juan wanted to copy me today. Again.
I can just go first, so that's why I wear it first.
He's lying. Don't listen to him. Anyways, Juan, who are we going to have on the show today?
So we're going to get to know brand new baseball head coach Ryan Strain. We got head women's soccer coach Tracy Chao, and she's going to be talking to us about the weekend in the RMAC. And then we also have all-conference junior forward Reigna Banks.
Awesome. It's going to be such a fun show, as had some exciting soccer games over the weekend. But before we bring in head coach Ryan Strain first, let's get you guys caught up on everything that happened this past weekend. We start with the women's soccer team, who rebounded from a tough loss on Friday to defeat CSU Pueblo on Sunday. Kaylee McKenzie gets the red and blue on the board with her first goal on the season. The Thunderwolves tied up, and it looks like we're heading into overtime. 10 seconds on the clock, Elise Brunard sends in the corner kick, and McKenna Brassard knocks it in with 4 seconds left, and the Roadrunners pick up 3 important points to stay in the top 4 of the RMAC standings.
Coach Jenny Glenn and her volleyball squad continues to tear it up in the RMAC, defeating UC Colorado Springs and Westminster at home. That's 7 straight wins for the Roadrunners, who are just 1 game behind Colorado Mines and Regis for the top spot. Sophomore Tristan Massey tallied a career-high 6 kills in their sweep of the Griffins.
That's right, Juan. And now for the men's soccer team, who split on their weekend. They first up a 3-0 decision at home versus Fort Lewis College. But then Coach Jeremy Tittle's men rebounded on the road in Alamosa to defeat the Grizzlies 1-0. Freshman defender Blake Miller scores the lone goal in the first half, and the defense did the rest, keeping Adams State off the scoreboard. The men's soccer team is now sitting in 4th place in the RMAC standings.
And finally, our cross-country team was in action this past weekend as they hosted the Roadrunner Invitational at Washington Park. Senior Brandon Croggy led the men's team to a first-place finish after crossing the finish line in the 4th spot. 4 Roadrunners finished in the top 15. The woman finished 2nd at the meet and was carried by Sabrina Router, who finished 11th overall. The Roadrunners will now get ready for the conference meet in a few weeks.
All right, guys, so now for the first time on the Coach's Corner, we welcome in head coach for the baseball team, Coach Ryan Strain. How you doing today, Coach?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, good.
I like the hats.
Oh, yeah, it's cool. Where's yours?
I know.
You should have brought your beanie. So, Coach, to start it off, congrats on joining the Roadrunner family. Tell us a little bit about where you come from and just how excited you are to be here.
Oh, it's been great. I mean, I grew up here just south of Denver. I went to Cherry Creek High School, so it's great to be back. But most recently, I came from Southern Illinois University, where I coached there for 7 years, home of the Salukis. So spent a good amount of time there. And then before that, I coached the University of Northern Colorado for 3 years, so I spent a little bit of time in Colorado. And then before that, I coached the University of Nebraska, is where I got my start. So been a little bit of all over the place, but excited to be back home and here in Colorado.
So what was it about MSU Denver that wanted you to coach this program?
Well, I think it's just a great place to be. I mean, I think it's a growing city. There's so many people moving here. The campus is growing. The new facilities with the rack that was built, and just a chance to come home and coach Colorado kids. I mean, I recruited a lot of Colorado kids when I was at Southern Illinois and then at Northern Colorado, and I know how great baseball is in this area, and I just thought we could really build a great program here. And there's a lot of exciting things happening with the school and the athletic program, and I want to be a part of it.
So, Coach, we know you have some family ties. Your grandfather used to coach basketball here. So do you remember anything from Metro State from his time coaching here? Is that kind of what drew you more here, or do you just love it overall?
Sure, yeah. I mean, that was a big draw, too. I mean, I remember when my grandpa was coaching here, the school's a lot different back then than it was now. I mean, pretty much everything is brand new. But that was a draw, too. I mean, this is a great place for my grandpa. Spent a good amount of his time coaching here. And I remember a lot of times coming down here and watching him coach and going to basketball camps. And so had a familiarity with the area and what the school was about. And so that was definitely a draw. I mean, I've told everybody when this job came open, this is the one job that I would want to come back for in the state of Colorado. So when it did open, I was shocked and excited that it happened, and then very excited that I got a chance to interview and then got the job. So.
All right, so we know from RoadrunnersAthletics.com that you played 2 years under the San Francisco Giants organization. So talk to us about your time right there.
It was a great time, and I think everybody that grows up, you have dreams of getting a chance to play professional baseball. Unfortunately, I was able to do that for a little while, and it was a great experience. I mean, it's something that nobody can take away from you, and you learn a lot. And one of the biggest things is you get to, meet and play with people from not just all over the U.S., but from all over the world. And so you learn a lot, get a lot of great coaches, and it's a time that I'll never forget, and wish it would have lasted longer, but it was fun while it happened, and then got into coaching after that. So.
Yeah, at least you got to play professional. That's not everybody could do that.
Right,
so.
Exactly. I mean, I'm very thankful for that time in my life, and it's fun to watch some of the guys that I played with that are still getting a chance to play in the major leagues, and so it was an exciting time in my life, and I'm glad I got to do it.
Well, even if you were able to live your dream for just a little bit, you're still able to do it, so that's awesome. So, Coach, I have to ask you, what is it about coaching that you like the most? Is it like the long hours on the bus, those losses, the slumps? What is it? What is it?
Oh, it's definitely the losses. That's my favorite part. No, I mean, I think a lot of it is, and this seems kind of like a cliche, but I mean, it's working with young kids, student athletes, and, I got a teaching degree. My parents were both teachers. That's just kind of part of our family. My grandparents were teachers. So just having to be able to work with kids and able to see, them grow and teach them the game, and the wins and losses, I tell everybody this, I mean, when you go through so much with your team and you have some of those tough losses, but when you get a great win, there's nothing like it. It's hard to explain to people if you haven't been part of athletics why it feels so good, but I think, as you said, those losses, stink, but you learn a lot from it, and then when you do get that big win, it makes it, so much more worth it, and that's why we do it. I mean, we work with kids. I think that's why everybody coaches, but that's what drew me into this. I knew I was either going to teach, and I wanted to teach because I wanted to coach, so.
All right, so who were some of your mentors that helped you get started and to get to this point as a head coach for a baseball team?
Well, I think first it would be both my granddads. My one grandfather was a football coach in the area at Thomas Jefferson High School, and then my other grandpa that you guys mentioned, he coached high school basketball in the state at Denver South and George Washington, and then coached here. So I'd have to say both of them first kind of got us going in the right direction. Then my dad was also a coach as well. So, following his footsteps. And then, I've had great mentors as coaches and the people that I've worked with. Mike Anderson, who grew up in Colorado from Greeley, gave me my first opportunity at the University of Nebraska and kind of taught me the ropes of what college baseball is like. And without those guys, teaching me the game or giving me the opportunity, I probably wouldn't be sitting here with the chance to be the head coach of a program. And I'm very appreciative of the things that they've taught me and given me these opportunities. And you also wouldn't be sitting here with us, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is perks of the job, us too. So we know that you've been working with the current Roadrunner team. So what are some things that you first told them when you first started just about your style of coaching and your style of baseball?
Well, I told them I wanted to play an up-tempo style. I think sometimes people watch baseball and they think the game can be boring, but I think we make it boring. I think there's ways that you can play the game, and one of the biggest things I stress to them each and every day is that we're going to take the pace of the game to the other team. I think so many baseball teams, you just you go out there and you let the pitcher dictate of how things are going to go, and the way that I'm trying to build our program and our offense is that we're in control of this, and we're trying to put a lot of pressure on people. And I think the biggest thing I tell our guys, we're going to have fun. I mean, I'm going to coach them hard. I'm going to get on them when they need to get on, but I think they're going to enjoy playing for me, and I think hopefully I've shown that this fall, and if they're going to want to play for me, and that's the biggest thing. And when you're a head coach, your players got to want to play for you, and I think that's the biggest thing that I stress and try to bring each and every day is make sure that they're going in the right direction, but they're enjoying doing this because this is a big time of their life. And you only get one career, you don't want to waste it.
So to finish off, could you tell us and the audience what are some of the things that you guys work on during the fall?
Well, during the fall this year, a lot of it's just trying to understand what I have, not knowing what the guys are. But, we spent a lot of our time on our running game and working on that, trying to take the pace to the other team. And so that's been a big, probably new thing for them because they didn't steal a lot of bases last year. So we're spending a lot of time on that. But other than that, just kind of going over the team. And I told them this fall it was going to be a chance for me, to kind of try to understand who they are and how they play, and then start to slowly integrate some of the things that I want to do. And so hopefully when we come out of this fall, we all kind of know what we have and what we need to work on in the winter before we get ready for the spring.
Cool. Well, Coach, we appreciate you so much for coming out. We hope your first time on the Coach's Corner wasn't too bad.
No, it was great. It was fantastic. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, no, of course. We wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Well, don't go anywhere because up next we have another head coach, but this time for the women's soccer team, head coach Tracy Chao. Don't go anywhere.
The Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference is committed to sportsmanship.
We take pride in the conduct of our student athletes and coaches.
And ask that everyone, coaches, athletes, and spectators, treat opponents and officials with respect.
We encourage you to cheer for your favorite team.
Unruly, threatening, or obscene behavior will not be condoned.
Thank you for your cooperation and support.
Don't you worry, my child. Everything's gonna be just fine. Little darling, you keep on walking, 'cause I ain't never gonna leave your side.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
I'm Emily Romer, junior defender for the women's soccer team.
Find Alexi Marr, the tallest player on the pitch, and it's going to be a goal. Emily Romer with that header.
And you're watching Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
I'm Cassie Fisher, senior defender for Metro State women's soccer team.
And coming in, nice job there by Fisher.
You're watching Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Thanks for sticking with us here on the Coach's Corner. Before we get to the wonderful Tracy Chao, we're just going to remind you guys to follow us on Twitter at Metro ST Sports. There we have highlights, games, commentary, a few pictures and videos of me, no big deal. So if you guys want more of me
Celeste,
and less of Juan, just kidding. All right, Coach, how you doing today?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Where's your beanie? It's the beanie show. Did you miss the memo?
I got my snow boots on though.
So Coach, just talk to us. How good did it feel to be back home after 2 long weeks on the road?
Yeah, really good. Not to be on a bus for 18 plus hours is nice, although we did watch some nice classic question mark movies, I guess. But yeah, it was good. But there's always something fun on the road. There's team camaraderie. It's all about soccer. So yeah, but to be able to play back on your home field is a huge advantage.
So let's briefly look back at Friday's game. I know it was a bummer against New Mexico Highlands. Every time that you guys scored, it seems that they scored back, and then off of deflection in the second half, they got the game-winning goal. So what are your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, it just tells you you can't take for granted any games. That every team in the RMAC is going to be a tough one, and that you have to come out ready, whether you're home or away. So it was a tough one. We would score early, and then they would counter right back, and ultimately they got the final one, which was a hard blow. So it was a tough one, but something we had to come back to and rebound from.
So kind of still talking about Friday's game, Reigna Banks had 2 goals that game, and she also had the assist for the first goal on Sunday's game. So do you just think her performance overall this weekend is just like a positive showing of she's getting back and playing at the top level that we all knew she's capable of playing?
Yeah, Reina's fun to watch. Everybody immediately points her out because she's athletic, she's quick, but she's also a team player. She brings her teammates around her to be better, and I think that's a huge part of what stands out is her presence and demeanor, and she's dancing on the field when she scores goals and just so excited, and that's fun for people in the crowd to see and fans to get around. So in terms of her performance, she's definitely starting to really get comfortable with where she's at and really putting her name out there, which is awesome. And it's something that we all knew. It's just a matter of now. It's 2 goals and an assist on a weekend is really powerful for her to make a statement, and so expecting nothing less than that moving forward.
Yeah, that's awesome. We can't wait to have her later on in the show. So now on to Sunday's game versus CSU Pueblo, a team that was like nipping at the heels in the conference standings. So you mentioned to us on Sunday that you thought the team just seemed ready to go from the get-go. Like, how do you think that changed things from, you know, obviously they tied it up, but how was the beginning of that game changed, you know, the whole rest of the game?
Oh, absolutely. It started from the warm-up. Well, it started from immediately walking out of the locker room. There was different energy, and an energy that we had talked about Saturday morning, actually, and the team had met about it, and we just needed a change in something to get us to bounce back from a hard battle on Sunday at Mesa and then a hard battle at Friday at home against Highlands. So that energy right away when they walked out of the locker room was something different. You could tell there was a different feel, and the warm-up immediately, you could see that there was excitement, communication, and they saw a domino effect of their movements and their warm-ups, and and just having fun. And ultimately, when you sort of shake things off and have fun with it, and you relax and you get yourself ready to go. So right away, it was definitely a different energy. That was exciting. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to see that. And I told them that was by far the best warm-up that I've seen in terms of preparation for the game. So it was good to see that, and even more important that they transferred it to the 90 minutes.
Yeah, so it's always important to have that energy, and Kylie McKenzie, she definitely had it, scoring her first goal of the season and of the match. So talk through us through that goal and how she's doing, replacing Bree Sanchez. We know that we lost her through an injury throughout the season, but talk to us about that goal.
Yeah, Kaylee McKenzie, she goes by Kenzie because we have a lot of Kaylees and Kaylas and things, so it's kind of a weird thing I had to get used to. But Kenzie has been a player that has done well. She has certainly bounced back in this latter half of the season right now, and so, you know, with the goal, it was Reigna had an opportunity to put one in, and Kenzie was in the right place at the right time, got one over in between the defenders and found herself 1v1 with the goalkeeper and just slotted it home. So, which is an intense moment because it's stressful when you're 1v1, but for her to have composure and just finish it and nicely finish it was awesome. So happy for her to get a result right there too, which is great. So yeah, she's done a great job. But there's so many players that have stepped up in these moments that we needed them, and she's definitely one of them.
That's awesome. So still sticking to Sunday's game, eventually CSU Pueblo tied up with that call, like the unlucky, like it was just so awkward, like she didn't mean to touch it, but it still touched her and they still called it. It was just so, I'm in the press box like, what's happening? But after that happened and that, you know, they got the penalty kick, but it seemed like your team never let up. Like they didn't get down. It just seemed that they came back fired up right after that halftime.
Right, and we talk a lot about belief and just understanding that no matter what, ups and downs, if you give up a goal, to believe that you're going to come back and fight and get another one. And it just takes a matter of keeping the energy high and thinking positive and working hard and sticking to the game plan and saying, we got this. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that was a little bit of a bummer to give up a PK, but to know that we're going to create a lot of chances and just to make the most of it. And the last chance and 20-some seconds left to take that corner kick was,
every second
was
counts,
awesome.
right?
Exactly. Every second counts. So, you know, you just can't let up and never know what's going to happen. But if you fight to the end, then you get yourself lucky at some points and get lucky moments, and we did.
All right, so second halves haven't been that great for you guys all season. You guys have only scored 2 goals prior to the Sunday game. So is it a mental thing? Is it a physical thing that you guys lose all your gas entering the final minutes, or is it just bad luck?
Well, we haven't scored a lot of goals in general, so as many as we would probably hope, but at the same time, we haven't given up a lot of goals. So we were 8 goals for and 8 goals against going into the weekend, so we're pretty even. And given our record, we were, 5-5. So it's a little bit of our defending has been really good, and scoring goals in soccer is just hard. That's just part of the game. Everybody wants to score lots of goals, and games aren't really won on 5-6 goals. They're won on 1 or 2 goal games. So that's a part where we're chipping away and figuring out and finding opportunities to create. And you're gonna score some and miss a lot, but we just got to keep pounding and knocking on the door. And things are falling, and we've scored more goals this weekend than we had in the previous 5 games. So it's getting there. So it's a momentum. We talk about momentum a lot. So staying plugged in is part of it too. First half, second half, and from minute 1 to the last minute. So there's a lot of different combinations and factors, but it's all about momentum and keeping that and just being the first and last goal. We want to score the first and last goal, and typically those teams win. So.
Well, and you guys did just that, because with just like 4 seconds left, I think Brassard hit that, and it was just like crazy. And I know as a coach, you just want to be in the know and stay in the know. There's still 4 seconds left. Anything can happen. But was there like a little celebration? Like there had to have been. I know there had to have been.
I think I definitely jumped high. I think I did a huge fist pump in the air, like straight up, and then I realized, okay, there's still time on the clock, and let's refocus and say, hey, 4 seconds. Let's make sure that we're plugged in for 4 seconds. So it would have taken a really good, a fast attack for them to have done anything. So I just told Erica, stay on your line, because they're going to have to basically have a Hail Mary into the goal. So Yeah, so then, you can't count your chickens yet, but you have to wait until it literally hits 0. And then I'm like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, and it was also against a good rival, CSU Pueblo. They made it to the conference championship last year, so it's always a good win against a good rival, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'll take any RMAC win any day. So.
All right, Coach, well, we appreciate you taking the time to come out and hang out with us for a little bit.
Always love hanging out with you guys, you and Juan, so it's been fun.
Yeah, we are pretty cool. What can I say?
Next time, you got to tell me about the beanie.
Yeah, we'll be sure to send out the memo for sure. All right, guys, well, don't go anywhere because we have Chao's player, Reigna Banks Jr., coming up next.
Since 1909, the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference has been a leader in collegiate athletics, with campuses in some of the most scenic areas in the United States. And now in Salt Lake City, Utah and Rapid City, South Dakota, the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, competition elevated.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
I'm Kaylee Burrell, senior midfielder for the women's soccer team.
And here comes Burrell, and she's going to get this ball before it heads the out of bounds, crosses it in.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
I'm Elise Bernard, senior forward from the women's soccer team.
Cross comes in here, Mar with a low shot, and Bernard puts it in the net. Bernard all alone right in front of the net.
And you're watching Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
We're back here on the Coach's Corner with Reigna Banks, but before we get to her, I want to remind you guys to shop MSUdenver.com. It's 25% off all sweaters and hoodies, so make sure, guys, it's getting cold, as you can see, beanie season. I'm freezing.
We have to get our Metro gear.
Yeah, we need some Metro gear, so if you guys want to send us some, don't be afraid to do so. 25% off. Well, so now we welcome in Reigna Banks. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. So let's first talk about this weekend. Tough loss on Friday night against New Mexico Highlands, but you guys answered back. So how tough was that game for you on Friday? It seems like every time you guys scored, New Mexico Highlands did.
It was tough. We just had a couple of mental lapses. We just let down once we scored, so it was a hard loss.
All right, so you looked incredible scoring those 2 goals and dancing after those goals. So what was going through your mind as you got those goals on the board?
Mainly just finish. Like, don't get too excited. Don't get myself worked up. Just finish, put my team on my back, and just help my team out.
And do you also feel that you did a better job this weekend? You had 2 goals and an assist. Compared to last weekend, you didn't have any shots against Colorado Mesa. So what was the difference from last weekend to this weekend?
Last weekend I was hurt, so I didn't really play as much, and I just couldn't get myself going. And this weekend I had a lot more confidence. My team was just like, Reigna, you got it. Like, we had a meeting and stuff, and they were just like, you know what you can do, just go out there and do it. So I felt like my team was pushing me. That's why I scored, and that's why I got the assist, because of them.
So on to Sunday's game, you helped your team get the first goal with that amazing assist to Kaylee McKenzie in the first 10 minutes of the game. So kind of take us through that goal and how much things have changed offensively with Bree Sanchez now out.
Yeah, with Bree out, it's a huge loss for us because she's so fast, she's so skilled, so technical. So we've had to just readjust and just take what we've been given and go with that. And Kenzie is just so strong, and I know if I get her the ball, she's gonna finish. And pretty much with any of my teammates, I know if I just put them in a good position, if they put me in a good position, they're gonna do what they need to do too.
All right, so it was a tied game. There's 10 seconds left on the clock, and Elise Bernard, she puts it in from a corner kick. What is going through your mind as the goal is scored with just 4 seconds left on the clock?
It was just crazy. Like, everybody was just like, we're not going into overtime. Everybody had the mindset that we're going to finish this. We're not going to lose this game. We're not going to tie this game. We're not even going to give them the opportunity to beat us in overtime. Mm-hmm. And McKenna had already told everybody when we went in the locker room at halftime, she's like, I feel like I'm going to score on the corner today. And then once we got back on the field, she was like, Emily, I'm actually going to score on the corner today. And she did just that. So it's just exciting. We have so many weapons. And our center back can score, our midfielders can score, our Torres almost had an assist. Like, we just have so many weapons.
Yeah, and things finally went your way on Sunday, right? So.
Yes.
So as Juan mentioned, we saw a lot of dancing from you over the weekend, but we didn't see you or your team as excited. I don't think ever after the game when you guys were like all cheering after Coach was talking. What'd she tell you that got you guys so amped up?
So Monday is our off day usually, and then so she gave us Tuesday off as well from practice. So
must be nice, right?
Everyone's all excited.
Yes.
But what are you doing with that extra time? Like catching up on homework, like hanging out?
Catching up on sleep. We're up at 5:30 every morning, so. We don't have class until 12 on Tuesday, so we'll be asleep until 11:30. So, yeah.
All right, so you're a California kid. You're from Bakersfield, so you were recruited from former coach Adrian Peets. So what made you come to MSU Denver to come to study here and play soccer as well?
One, the tradition that MSU Denver's women's soccer had led me here, and then I wanted to leave California and I wanted to live in a big city, and Denver was that. And when I got here, I just loved everything about it. I loved the people. I loved the team that was here when I came on my visit, and I loved Adrian being from California, and I just wanted to come here.
So your profile at roadrunnersathletics.com says you're majoring in biology with a minor in math, which already means you're a lot smarter than both of, well, maybe not me. But with that, what do you hope to accomplish, or what's your dream job?
So right now, I want to be a travel nurse while I'm still young, and like I don't have any kids, I'm not married, so I just want to like travel around the world and be a nurse. And then once I finish doing that, I would like to work at in an emergency room or be a pediatric nurse.
Okay.
So
cool.
Nursing pretty much.
Yeah, and how has this junior year been going for you so far?
It's been a little bit different. Like, like people say a sophomore slump. Well, I didn't have one of those. I'm kind of having a junior slump. So I just have to figure out how to get myself going. It's kind of hard because like people kind of know who I am now. So it's like people are double teaming. So I have to figure out how to get my teammates more involved. And like, it's not going to always be able to come from me because I'm like, people are marking me so hard and stuff, so I've been trying to deal with that, and I haven't been scoring as many goals, but we're getting there. So.
Well, at least you're helping out the team, because if more defenders are marking you, then that leaves a lot of spaces open. So.
Right, exactly.
All right, Reigna, well, thanks so much for taking the time out to come and hang out with us. Enjoy your few days off, get some rest.
Yeah, we didn't get a day off today, so.
Yeah, no, we're here. So before we let go of Reigna Banks and to you guys, let's get you guys caught up on everything that's going to be happening this upcoming weekend. So if you love basketball, then Thursday is your day. Come down to the Blake Street Tavern from 11:30 to 1 p.m. as we'll be hosting the Denver D2 Basketball Tip-Off Luncheon. Men's and women's coaches from Regis, Mines, Colorado Christian, and of course MSU Denver will give us their thoughts on the 2017-2018 season. Get tickets at roadrunnersathletics.com. The basketball fun doesn't stop there. Make your way to the Regency Student Housing, where the men's and women's teams will be having their Rowdy at the Regency event. There will be music, giveaways, a dunk contest, a three-point contest, and I will be there as well. So if you can't get enough of me, I'll be there. And that will start at 8:30 p.m., so come on out and meet this year's basketball teams.
And as we mentioned, the women's soccer team just has one game at home, and they'll be hosting Black Hills State at the Regency Athletic Complex on Sunday at noon. The men will also be at home this weekend. Their first face-off is against UC Colorado Springs on Friday at 5 p.m. Then it's the Thunderwolves from CSU Pueblo, and they'll kick off at 2:30 p.m. on Sunday. Watch all the exciting soccer action on Stretch Internet and at roadrunnersathletics.com.
And finally, the volleyball team looks to continue their hot play in the conference. They'll first host the Cowgirls from New Mexico Highlands on Friday at 7 p.m. Then on Saturday, the Thunderwolves come to downtown Denver to battle Coach Jenny Glenn's squad, and that will get going at 5 p.m. And of course, the Metro State Broadcast Network will be there to get every kill, every save, and hopefully every win. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for this week's show of the Coach's Corner. Huge shout out to Coach Strain, Tracy Chao, and Reigna Banks for coming and joining us today. For the Metro State Broadcast Network and for Juan Arellano, I'm Celeste Zubia, and we will see you guys next Monday.